The Huion Kamvas 22 Plus is by far the best purchase that I've made this year, and after 6 months I am finally going to be sharing a review of my thoughts on it so far. If you are seriously considering purchasing this product, I suggest you stay and watch the entire video because I have some things to say. Starting with the bad, I know if I was watching, I would want to know what's wrong with this product. So number one, the colors are a bit problematic for me. And let me explain. I know that many reviews on this pen display, everyone says that the color is really bright and it's very nice. However, for me, I need my colors to stay the same on all monitors. I have 3 monitors including this pen display, and I find that once I decide on a color on my pen display, it does not look the same on the other monitor. So let me give you an example. I have a square here and I'm just going to move it over to the other monitor that I have, right? Notice how the color is completely different. Like, it's still purple, right? But on the pen display, it has more of a blue tinge to it. What color is that? I don't even know. But here on this monitor, it has a lavender purple sort of look to it. 2 completely different colors, very different in the outcome of what I have to present to my clients, right? And it's very frustrating, and it takes up a lot of time trying to fix and match colors. The color green is a bit better, but this delay has truly impacted my time while working on illustrations for clients. What I do now is I decide on my colors on my other monitor and then switch to drawing completely on the pen display. It's something that I had to keep in mind, and this is only for client work. If you are drawing or painting for practice, don't worry about it. Have fun. It's not that serious. One thing to keep in mind is if you do draw a nice illustration or a nice character, make sure you do a color correction over top of it, just to make sure that the composition is displayed in an appealing way. And you could do that in Krita, you could do that in Photoshop, you could do that in GIMP or Photopea.com. I've never used Photopea.com, but I heard it's good. Just make sure that you are happy with the color choices you have selected through the pen display. Okay? So can I say that coloring is a bad thing? Not really. Only when it comes to clients. If I'm using my pen display for personal art projects, I have no problem. I am completely fine and I love it. So that's it for number 1. Number 2 is no buttons. I use a lot of shortcuts while working on things, and I guess that this is just me being dumb in terms of where exactly to place my keyboard. As you could see, I had it in the front, I've had it on the right hand side, to only realize that, oh, I am right-handed. Here's what you should do. If you are right-handed, it's best to have your keyboard on the left side, just underneath that little crease behind the pen display. It will be easier for you to use the buttons and shortcuts, right? And that's only with a keyboard. If you are left-handed, it's the opposite. It would be nice to eliminate this whole keyboard use and just have some buttons left-hand side, just to make my process a bit easier. But I've grown accustomed to making that extra step and clicking the actual buttons on the screen, and it's fine. I don't mind. Number 3, and this is not really a big deal to me, but I'm just gonna let you know for those of you who may not know when this happens. The drivers may stop. Now in my case, the first time that all of a sudden the drivers stopped working was last week, actually. 6 months after purchasing my Huion pen display, the drivers stopped working, and all I had to do was just go back on the website and reinstall the drivers again, and that fixed the whole problem. Now, it's not the pen display's fault, it's not anybody's fault, it's most likely my computer's fault. My computer likes to play games like that. But is that really a bad thing? I don't think so. So I'm just gonna put that down at the bottom there. So that's about it for my list of bad things. Well, they're not really bad things, it's just preference at this point, right? So now on to the good part. My pen display adapts to every software that I use, and that includes Krita, Blender, After Effects, Photoshop. What else do I use? DaVinci Resolve. Those are the main softwares that I use almost every day. So far so good. I have no issues regarding any of these softwares and the usage of my pen display. Number 2, it's a great third monitor for me. Sometimes when I'm working, I like to have a YouTube video playing on the side. It's great. Number 3, it's very useful for my own workflow. I'm a 3D artist, and when I'm 3D modeling a scene on Blender, sometimes for certain details of the objects that I'm working on, I have to switch to the sculpting mode, which in my opinion is easier to use on the pen display rather than on your mouse. And I can't even speak that much on sculpting because I don't usually sculpt. I just use it on, the minor details such as cloth materials or organic materials. And that's about it. Number 4, and this is the last one, and y'all please don't laugh at me, but number 4 of the things that are good about my pen display is that I love it so much. I do. I know I've spent a good 6 minutes talking about how the coloring is annoying and the fact that I have no buttons. But, like I said before, those are not really negative or bad things to say about this pen display because it's my very first pen display and I have nothing to compare it to. I just really like it. It's a good purchase for me. One other thing to have in mind is that this list is my own opinion. Don't take my word as law. I'm just giving you a review based on my own experience. This is my own opinion. Other people might have a different experience than mine. I'm just sharing what I have experienced so far, and that is that, okay? One final thing I would like to share based on the comments that I received from the previous video is that whether or not it could work on its own. And the answer to that question is no. To some people, this might seem like a silly question, but to others, this was a genuine question that a lot of people had in the comments. So here I am answering it. I am showing you how the pen display works. I'm showing you the cord, and this plug plugs into my computer. And if I were to unplug it, the screen will turn black. It needs a computer or a laptop in order for it to use. If it were to just plug in without a computer and then just plug it into the wall, it will not work because it is not a computer. It is just a monitor for you to draw on, not an iPad. And that concludes my 6-month review for my pen display. Thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe and like the video and comment. If you have any questions regarding the Huion Kamvas 22 Plus, please feel free to ask. I'm sure I missed out on a lot of things. Please don't feel shy. Just ask away and I will do my best to respond. And I'm also going to mention that I do have an email list. This is something that I never mention at all on my YouTube. I kind of just leave a link in the description. But I do have an email list, I do have an online class, I do have a blog, and I do have Instagram. So if you want to connect with me, feel free to. I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.